everybody, I'm Rolonda Watts, and welcome to the show today. We're coming to you live from Miami. I am standing here on one beautiful beach where even the folks who live in those palatial condos behind me or vacationers strolling up and down the shore here certainly can't ignore that controversial issue that's facing America right now, and that is the issue of immigration. Just this weekend, several makeshift rafts like this carrying Cuban refugees washed ashore. And that comes 3 days after America decided that we're going to allow as many as 20,000 Cubans a year to come and live in this nation legally. Now, the Cuban authorities are saying by midday tomorrow, they're going to stop the departures from their country, and they're going to use force, they say, if they have to. The question we're asking today is, what do you think about all of these immigration issues? While some here in America say that hey, these are folks who are risking their lives with their families to cross these waters, dangerous waters, in search of freedom, we should take care of them. There's some others who say, hey, wait a minute, America has enough problems. We can't use any more people. What do you think? We think it's something worth talking about right now, live from Miami on Rolonda. Folks, let's get America dealing with this today, okay? Welcome, everybody. As we said, we're coming to you live today from Miami, and the phone lines are open, America, so come on and join what is sure to be a very interesting and hopefully revealing conversation today about immigration. You will see some of the phone lines on your screen, so please come on and join what is going to be a very intimate but certainly interesting conversation. When you say the word immigration in America, you certainly get some mixed reactions, as you are about to hear from our guests today, and certainly from our audience and those calling in. Tony is a proud American, he calls himself, and he blames all the crime in this country on immigrants like Cubans and Haitians and Mexicans. Enrique calls himself a proud Cuban American, and ironically, he says, there are already too many Cubans here, and we should put a stop to immigration. And Elio, who is Cuban, says, why shouldn't Cubans take jobs in the United States? He points out that many Americans won't work for minimum wage, while many Cubans will. And Enrique Pollack, the president of the Cuban American Student Union, is a Cuban American born in Cuba, and he believes that Cubans have a right to be in America just like everybody else. You do wonder, I mean, America is a nation that is made of mostly immigrants. And when you have people saying, you know, like I know Tony says, you know, most of the people who are coming in are criminals, I mean, that's a blanket statement to make.
I never said that. But basically, my view reflects the view of 67% of the registered voters in the South Florida area. Okay, we're sick of refugees. Okay, we don't want any more open door for Cubans. We don't want a Haitian invasion of South Florida. Okay, we're sick of food stamps and AFDC for refugees. I guess what I'm saying is we don't want any more refugees. Floridians first.
You're about to jump out. You see there.
Yeah, I'm about to jump out. I mean, see, you know, the Cubans that come to this community are the most successful immigrants who have ever set foot in the United States. Yes. That's according to National Geographic. We produce over $20 billion a year locally for this economy. When we got here, Miami was up to 27th Avenue, and that was it. Right now, it's an international banking center. An international banking center is a gateway to Latin America, and Cubans produce for this community quite a bit. We do not take AFDC or welfare.
Question. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
Miami was a thriving community. I must say that the tourism has been detrimentally affected as a result of the influx of these aliens. And you must remember, free monies were given to start businesses, and right now Southwest 8th Street, which used to be thriving, is a ghost town.
And Elio?
Yes.
Your position is?
Well, I didn't get any free money when I get here from Cuba, and I came in 1980. I managed myself, after working in factories for 6 years, to open my own business. And I had 26 employees after the first 4 years. So I think that we are not a burden for this community, for this society. Miami is what Cuba used to be before Castro took over. The Americans, they flew to Cuba. They didn't come to South Florida.
Well, when you say, there are many people who say stop the immigration, how do you propose to do that?
Well,
Get rid of Castro.
right, that's it.
Get rid of Castro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You're equating the Cuban situation to the Haitian situation, right? Yet Cedros has only been in power for 2 years. Already there's a massive invasion of Haiti planned.
Right.
Yet we've had to swallow Castro for 35 years and nothing. All we get is detention? I don't think so. Free Cuba now.
Okay, why? And I'm gonna tell. Let me tell you something. You're gonna ask why? Because this government, the American government, they don't allow the Cuban to go and throw Castro out of control. Let me tell you this: we are not asking the Americans to help the Cubans. We want to be free.
Okay, let me ask.
We want to be free and go.
Drugs and all this stuff here
Stand
to
up.
us. You brought all the drugs. Why you came here? You should have stayed over there.
Come back, come back, come back.
Stayed there.
I don't think
Why you came
the
over
fact
here?
that
Okay, hold on.
You came over here to destroy
You
our
want to know
children
who
and
brings the
all. That's
drugs?
what you came
You want to
over
know
here
who
for.
brings the drugs? Because
You
I
came
love
over
this
to-
community.
One at a time. Hold on. Can we
No,
make
you
it? Wait,
don't
hold on,
love it.
folks. Can we make a
No, you
deal?
don't.
Let's make a
No,
deal
you
right now.
don't.
Hold on. Let's make a deal,
No,
folks.
you don't.
I know
No,
this.
you don't.
Wait.
You should have stayed where you were.
Okay.
Instead of coming over here to
Well,
us.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Hold
Where
on.
are you from?
No, excuse
Where are
me.
you from, lady?
Wait a
Where are you
minute.
from?
Wait a minute.
Eh?
But this is my show. Hold on.
Where's she from?
Hold
This lady's an
on.
American.
Let me make this clear.
She's a native-born American.
Where are you from? Where are you American?
Look.
She's a native-born American.
Wait, stop for 1 second, please. Stop for 1 second.
I've been here. You
Lady,
just came here.
stop for 1 second. Come on.
The Indians are
Listen,
the
listen,
Americans.
please.
This lady
I
here-
know this is a heated issue. You know why I know? Because there's a storm brewing right now, and a lot of people are concerned about lives out there on that ocean. That's right. Wait a minute. There are a lot of people right now who are living in this country who are concerned about their families. This is an issue that we know is going to get heated, but let me tell you about the man and woman and family sitting at home. They must hear what you have to say.
Right.
So let's make a deal that in whatever we feel, we must listen on this show, okay? So that we can learn about where other people live. Let's walk a mile in somebody else's moccasins for a moment. Let's take a break. We'll come back in a moment. I know you're upset, but please,
I want to know where
to.
I'm living. I ain't got nothing to do about it.
Hey y'all, I can't wait to see you in my voice acting masterclass. For those of you who are really serious about becoming voice actors, this is the opportunity for you. In 6 weeks, you will be in a totally different place as an artist, and I want to help you put that voice to work. Go to Rolonda.com and check it out. You'll see the details of what I offer, and you might want to even set up a discovery call to see if this is the right fit for you. But stop hesitating. Stop waiting. Stop putting off. Stop going, well, because there'll always be an excuse. Take control of your life. Take action now. Be a voice actor and come work with me. Rolonda.com.
Guys, Manny Cabo here. You guys might recognize me from a tiny little show on NBC called The Voice, or Telemundo's La Voz, or maybe even one of the lead singers of the Wizards of Winter Christmas Spectacular. I'm here to talk to you guys about Rolonda Watt's Masterclass for Voiceover Artists. I gotta tell you, when I first delved into this industry, so many of my friends would say, Manny, you wanna learn voiceovers, you gotta take Ro's class. And they hit the nail on the head with this one. Because after the 6-week intensive masterclass, not only did I feel inspired and empowered, but above all educated with all the latest trends and tips and techniques from industry professionals that Rolonda will bring on to showcase to help you leverage your skills as well. So folks, if you're looking to really up your game and delve into the voiceover world, then take Rolonda Watt's Masterclass. You'll be glad you did. And Rolonda, thank you so much for inspiring me to continue to do the things that I love with my voice. You're a rock star. And for those of you out there looking for the best voiceover masterclass, Rolonda's the way to go. Oh, and by the way, you're welcome. Take care, guys.
Should you know if a paroled sex offender is living next door to you? It's something worth talking about on the next Rolonda. Welcome back, everybody. We are coming to you live today from Miami, talking about an issue that clearly really pushes buttons. We've gotten things kind of calmed down here. We're talking about immigration. Right now, as we pointed out, there is a tropical storm brewing out over the ocean. And the Coast Guard is expecting more rafters coming in. I think up to this point, we've got more than 36,000 rafters who have come in. And this is, of course, concern to people because of once they're, I mean, not only for lives, but once they get to these American shores, what does that mean for America? Let me also point out we are taking phone calls from you, so you'll see a phone number flash on your screen. Come on and join this conversation. This thing got so heated, now you understand why we had to have an intimate conversation, because I had to put the lady back in her seat here. But I understand what she's saying. Her concern is that folks are coming in. Enrique, you are a Cuban American, yes, right? When you came to this country, how long ago?
It was 1980. I came in Mariel boat lift.
You were part of the Mariel boat lift?
Yes.
What was life like for you when you came over those years ago?
Oh, terrible.
In what way?
I never found a person to help me, to give me a hand. It was real hard. But I never found HRS office or any government agency to give me help.
Wait a minute, you're talking about coming to the shores of a nation that is established, that says, give me your hungry, your poor, your tempest tossed, and your reaction was hostility.
Hostility. You know something? I thought, as I used to hear those radio broadcasting, because at that time there was no TV Marti, that the Cuban community here was going to help me. They didn't.
The Cuban community, your own people didn't help you?
They didn't.
Why not?
I don't know.
Some lady back here saying what?
I didn't.
The color of his skin?
That's the point. That's the point.
Wait a minute.
That's the point.
Sit down.
I'm still happening.
You know what?
That's the point.
If this gentleman was Haitian, okay, he would have got food stamps and welfare and everything, because this lady right here is in the this lady right here is in the business of putting as many of her people from back home on the dole. Okay, and this gentleman over here, Michael Putney, he's from one of the left-wing television stations down here that will never criticize these people from the Haitian Refugee Center. She's not there anymore, but her job is to bring as many boatloads of Haitians in and stick them on AFDC and food stamps.
Let's hear from the lady. Come introduce yourself.
It's very sad to hear how immigrants hate immigrants. This is a country of immigrants. Immigrants build this country. I'm sorry, sister. You are fighting. You're also fighting for your rights in this country, and you don't want to see other people fighting for their rights.
So what do you want in this moment for Americans to understand about the new immigrants? Because there are a lot of people who are saying our country's already taxed. That was fine years ago when we weren't bursting at the seams. What can you say to make that type of American sentiment, like Tony is feeling, understand what your position is?
Tony needs to go to social services and do a research to find out that immigrants don't receive FDC in this country, okay?
Yeah.
You're taking the cheap label that nobody else wants in this country.
You're on your moderate side right now.
Secondly, let me tell you, we also part of United States.
Yeah.
We have gave our blood to save this country, and we're going to come if we have to come. You don't have any right to tell us not to come to this country.
Mr. Rancy.
Let her make her point.
Let me tell you the second part. Haiti was always 800 miles from the United States. Haitians did never come to the United States. The only reason we are coming here because your government has always went down there and tried to overturn the government that the Haitian people are putting to get their country together. We want to go back home, but also you don't have any right to tell us not to come here because you're not a Native American.
All right, let's take a caller. We have a phone call. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. I can't hear you. Can you speak a little louder? What's your name? Okay, we don't have the caller in. But look, while I've got your attention here, just imagine walking into a grocery store and finding all the shelves there empty. The refugees, also called rafters or balseros, say they fled Cuba because there was no food to feed their children,
That's the only
no
reason why.
gas to fuel their cars, and sometimes not even electricity. It is something most Americans in this rich land can hardly picture. Wait a minute, hold on. But that's what life has been like under the dictatorship of Fidel Castro for the past 35 years. Let's go back in time for a moment. Only 90 miles of ocean separate Cuba from the United States. More than 30 years ago, when Castro joined forces with the communist Soviet Union, why, those 90 miles were much too close for comfort. In 1962, Cuba put the U.S. on the brink of nuclear disaster, and Soviet nuclear warheads were discovered on Cuban soil. Missiles aimed at America, and many feared at democracy itself.
Shall be the policy
you
of
finally
this
met
nation
somebody that has the guts
to
to speak
regard any
against
nuclear
you.
missile launched from Cuba against any nation in the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States.
While the Cuban Missile Crisis was resolved peacefully, the U.S. still countered by not trading with the Cubans and by not allowing them to travel to the U.S. Eventually, Cuban refugees would become eligible for political asylum here, and by 1980, the number of Cubans streaming into the United States became overwhelming. That after Castro emptied his jails and mental hospitals, marking the beginning of the Mariel boat lift. In 5 months in 1980, 125,000 Cubans washed up on American shores. Now, with the fall of communism and the withdrawal of Soviet financing, Cuba's economy has hit rock bottom. Life there is so hard, they say, that some Cubans would rather risk their lives on the ocean in flimsy homemade rafts rather than stay in their homeland for another day. On Friday, the U.S. and Cuba reached an agreement allowing up to 20,000 Cubans per year the right to live in America. Today, tens of thousands of Cubans remain in American detention camps, still not knowing whether they will be among the lucky ones. And that is the history that we're dealing with, and people still washing upon this shore as of today. Later in the program, we're going to talk to some of Cuba's most famous defectors, including Alina Fernandez, who is Castro's daughter. We're going to continue this conversation, even talk to a family who has recently gotten to the United States aboard a raft. We'll be right back.
Let me help bring some joy to the people you love. Let me make a cameo for you. A special message from you through me. And you know I'm a jazz it up. Just to say, I love you, I miss you, stay safe, wash your hands, whatever you want to say. And if you want to break up with somebody, I can help you do that too. We can be creative. Anyway, go to cameo.com/Rolonda Watts and let me make a cameo for you.
Does your mother-in-law like your husband's first wife more than she likes you? Well, call Rolonda and tell us your story. 1-800-291-2535. Cuba is going to be preparing to stop its people from defecting and says it will use force if it has to. Meanwhile, the U.S. Coast Guard is manning our shores, expecting even more rafters to wash up today. I pointed out that right now there's a tropical storm brewing out there over the ocean. And, as the crisis escalates, so does the cost to taxpayers. I think we should be very aware of that, too. Yes, you have something to say there?
I have something to tell this gentleman. I happen to be another Marielito. I came from Cuba in 1980,
yes.
But I didn't come to this country expecting the other Cubans or anybody to help me. Excuse me.
We help ourselves.
Excuse me.
Of course,
let me talk, sir. Sir, let me talk.
One at a time.
Let him talk.
Let me talk. I work in factories. I work as
So
a
did
maintenance
I.
person.
No, you were wanting welfare.
And nobody helped. Listen, can I talk?
That's what you said?
Listen
That's what
to
you
this.
said?
Listen to this.
People, rewind.
I didn't say
Caballeros, por favor. Más
Please,
despacio,
please.
one at a time,
Gentlemen,
please.
let
One
me
at a
finish.
time.
Hey, let me tell you
Gentlemen,
this.
Wait, so
Yeah.
just here's the
I
point.
came ready to work when I get here.
So what did you do, sir?
Man, you came ready to have this country take care of you. But the majority of Cubans The majority of Cubans came over here to work. That's why we built this community.
Let me ask you this.
We work.
One at a time, please. One at a time. One at a time. One at a time.
Don't give me the racial thing. I got a lot of black friends, my friends.
Wait a minute.
No problem racially. You just don't
Here, you want to do the show?
You
want to do the show? Do you want to miss out on an opportunity for America to hear what's going on here? Do you want to sit and scream at each other and do all of this and make America still wonder about the sentiment of people in this country? This is a place where we listen. This is a place where we learn understanding, where we take the time. You don't have to agree, but you must listen. Now, please, if we're going to continue the show, for the people we are listening to, please be a caballero, a gentleman. Okay? One at a time.
I want to finish what I tried
And
to
then when he
gentleman.
finishes, I will let you speak. One at a time.
Yeah. What I was telling you is, with no help, with no family in this country, I manage myself, I open a business, and I help a lot of people, including the black community, sir. Well, yes, you want me to help you? I'll give you a job. I don't know if you want to work for the minimum wage.
Let me introduce somebody to you now. This is Michael Putney. He is a reporter here with WPLG in Miami, and you have been covering this Cuban immigration crisis. This, boy, is it like this when you go out and report?
All the time. It's a very intense subject, and it really is a hot-button issue, Rolonda.
Have you found that there's more hostility? Has anything surprised you in all of this, or is this?
Well, I think that one of the useful things that you've seen in the arguing you've seen today is that I think the rest of the country can see that the Cuban community is not homogeneous. There are all kinds of strains and differences. The one thing that unites them is that they hate Fidel Castro, but there are lots of differences between Cubans, and they shouldn't be all lumped into a group. That's one thing that I think that your show is proving.
How much support are the Cuban rafters getting from, as many would say, their own people, the Cuban Americans here who are immigrants themselves? It just seems so odd to so many of us that you wouldn't help your own.
Well, I think, in fact, that there is a lot of help that's being given to the Balseros who have come, who've been able to reach these shores. 34,000 haven't. They are the ones in Guantanamo and Panama. But there's been a lot of help. It's different. You see, people like Elio, people who came in the Mariel boat lift are the ones who are principally the ones who are out front, I think, helping the ones who want to come now, because many of them are their family members, and since it's a recent experience for them, they're more sympathetic, and I think they're more willing to help. A lot of Cubans who came in the early 60s look upon the people, many of them look upon these people, yes, as brothers and sisters, but as economic refugees, not so much as political refugees.
And what about the non-Cubans in Miami, the rest of the community? How has that sentiment been? Has it been just as hostile as what we've seen here?
I don't think it's nearly as hostile as the gentleman at the end, who I hope is a minority of one.
Oh, it's not. Sorry, sir.
However,
sir, you know, I have something to speak. I have something to say to you.
He appears to be a professional hater, and I suspect he hates any immigrants. However, I would say that most people in this community, that is to say, most, as we say, unfortunately, non-Hispanic whites, Anglos, people like me, and a lot of black people in this community have a lot of sympathy for the people who want to come here. But on the other hand,
this gentleman.
But on the other hand, we have seen our schools overcrowded. We have seen our public hospitals overcrowded, our roadways. All the public infrastructure has had a tremendous strain from this, and Washington, to its discredit, has failed to help pay the bill. This has all been borne by taxpayers here, and that's part of why there is such reluctance.
This state is going to really have to go through a tough thing. Yes, sir, and I'll come to you as well.
I'd like to answer the question you posed a while ago.
What's that?
Why they have no food on the shelves in Cuba? Here's the reason. Over 1 million Cubans left Cuba since the 1960s. Instead of staying there to fight Fidel Castro, they could have beat him with sticks, rocks, fire, multiple things to get guns. They could have got more guns, and they could have made an underground army. The reason why they don't have food on the shelves, they can blame themselves for that situation because they didn't stay and fight on the top of that. Why would we...
Wait, I got to take a break. I got to take a break. We'll continue the conversation right after this. Got to take a break.
I have another piece of the question.
Okay. All right. We can talk to the
I wouldn't go out in a swimming pool in.
Whoa.
That's desperation.
That's desperation.
People are desperate, so they doing what they got to do to get out of Cuba.
I got the best news ever. Destiny Lingers is now an audiobook. Go get your book now. Download now at Audible. And I read you the story myself. Time moves on, but destiny lingers. Get the audiobook now.